Welcome to this Match AT video. We want here quickly to show the functionality of the Topo View and how it helps us to check the rotations of the images. We will do this here with the demo data, which can be downloaded from our webpage. So I just quickly set up the project, mainly because in the project setup there is the definition of the camera that has an impact. And also either you use IMU or you use, in this case, kappa values from the strips. So this is then also an important part in this process. So in my case, the camera that we will use here is a digital camera from the provider is Phase 1. It's the TAC IQ 180 51mm. And I will just here give a standard name quickly to run through it. And in this definition, we have here the value of the platform, which is 90 degrees. And we also have in the camera set the coordinate system, the image coordinate system that is defined. And we strongly recommend that you check this with your camera calibration protocol, if this is fitting to this one, or for some cases or issues if there are differences to it. So please verify this and check this. Also, and this is what we will do here, is after we import the images, then we will check this with the Topo Viewer. So let me here just import the images first. And this is in Biberach, so this is around 530 meters of height. And after I import the images, I will import the GNSS, and my GNSS includes a high precision IMU information. So in this file here, when we take a look, we have here the east-north height value or orthogrammetric height and omega phi kappa values in degrees. And therefore we will then import this data completely with all the entries, and this starts here from the line 22. So I will here start from the line 22, and then we will here say this is my ID, and then here is my eastern, northing and height, omega, phi and kappa. And that's it. So let's just check. Okay, this is fine. And then this is also a photogrammetric rotation system and not an aeronautic one. And then we import the data. Then we say OK. And we will initialize our images now with the GNSS and the IMU. And this is important because I will also now generate my strips. And these strips now are just purely based on the GNSS. And also here we get now a kappa value for each of the strips. And this azimuth value is now verified together with the GNSS IMU. And if I save the project, then we could get here now a warning. The warning saying us, okay, look, your kappa value from the GNSS IMU and the kappa value from the strips, they do not fit to each other. And therefore this is also somehow a check to be sure that everything is fine. So then after this is done, we can now go into the Match AT multi-photo measurement tool. And there's now the image stamp database generated from the photos. And here we now activate the photos. So we go to Photos, select all of them, activate them, and then we go into here Topo Viewer. You can also find it here into Display Topo Viewer or Control F2. And then we can change here the stamp size. I will put this to large. And now we can see if this strip here with these images here, if they are correctly overlaid. So in my case here, I will do this here with this open field here. You see here on the top one, this open field is on the bottom. Then in the middle one, it's in the middle, and in the third strip, it's more in the upper part. And this is correct. Yeah, this is when we have these 30% overlap. This makes sense here, so that they overlap in this part. Well, in my case, it's even 70% overlap here, I would say. So these 70% overlap. So here, there's parts, and then again here, 70% with the next image, and so on. If we go back now to the camera definition, and we change now in the camera definition different values, then this will then have an impact. For example, the image coordinate system. So if I define my image coordinate system with x pointing down or up in this case here, so let's, for example, here, I will make it 180 degrees. So I will first make now here, instead of x going to the right, I will make x going to the left, and I say okay, save the project, and then we go back into the multi-photo measurement tool. Then we will now see that the upper strip, again, let me select all images, activate them, then go into Topo View, make it here to large, and now this open field here in the upper strip is not anymore down, it's now on the upper part. And that means the type point extraction will fail between the strips. In the strip itself, the overlap is still perhaps possible. Now he can find perhaps somehow points in between, if they make sense. This is the other question, but this is then possible. Or even perhaps then when we will just make it 90 degrees, then this is also then causing issues between the strips. Let me go here again out. I will not save it here. Go back to the camera. I will now change back here my value in the calibration. Here again, pointing X to the right and apply. And now I will change here the rotation to 270. And this will now, when we save here, will get us an error message. And the error message is now this kappa value that I mentioned. It is here compared. So if we go down here, we can see here that the kappa coming from the strip violates the kappa value from the IMU, and therefore it says, look, there could be something wrong. Please double check this. This doesn't make sense in this part. As we initialized with GNSS IMU, it will not have an impact on our rotation. So therefore, it would still work. We would still be able to run the process. So that means, let me here perhaps show, I leave it to 270. I move back X to the right, and we save it. I will now go not into the error messaging. I will save it. And when we now go to the georeferencing Topo Viewer of the PMT, then activating the images, and then taking a look, then we see now it's fine. Here the open field is again on the bottom. It overlaps correctly with the next one, and here also. Different would be the issue if I would initialize now the images not with GNSS IMU, but if I go to the images, I select them here, edit, and then I initialize now here with strip, GNSS and strip. And I say here, apply, okay, okay, save the project, exiting now here. And as I entered the wrong rotation, now when we take a look here again at these images, and we take a look here on the upper strip, then again here, we see now wrong rotation. The upper strip is now, the open field is on top. And here, this one is on down, so they are not correctly overlapping to each other. And therefore, again, this would then cause failure of type point extraction between the strips. I hope this gives a general idea about how the Topo View can be used to directly check if our entries are fitting correctly. And always please double check with your camera calibration protocol how the camera was defined, especially the X and Y image coordinate system of your system, and because this also has an influence on our rotation of the images. thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.